What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the channel. So this one is going to be all about how to recommit to yourself. And to allow that to happen, what we're going to cover is understanding your comfort zone. Because everybody talks about the comfort zone, but they don't talk about why we end up there and why it's called the comfort zone when it's not fucking comfortable at all. So we're going to talk about understanding the comfort zone and your comfort zone. Then also why we fall off track, and then how to utilize your power of choice, because that's pretty much how you get out of it. It's taking your power back, which is your power of choice, and then you get to decide how you choose to move forward. So the first thing we're going to start off with is the concept of doing the hard thing first. And it's actually a concept I got from my mom. It's something she ingrained in me of always do the hard thing first because things get easier after. And that's something that even applies with self-development and spirituality, especially in spirituality, because everybody talks about aligning the energy first. And the importance of that and why many people don't do it is because it's so uncomfortable at times to take the time to slow down and align the energy, because it feels like everybody's going so much faster than you. It feels like you're seeing people do things because it feels like you just stopped. It kind of feels like, I don't really watch NASCAR, but just literally just popped up, like when they do the pit stop, right? And they're changing the tires and everybody's like, fucking move, fucking go, 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 fucking get the shit out the way, gas, windshield wiper. Do they use windshield wiper? I don't know. But they do all that shit, right? And like, it's hectic because they're trying to get back in the race. It feels hectic when you're so used to go, go, go and do, and then you stop and you slow down. And especially if you understand that you have to stop and slow down on purpose. You have to slow down to speed up. And that's why it's so important to do the hard thing first, which is to slow down. See what your resistance is. Feel what the hard thing is, because doing is like being productive. That's not the hard thing. Everybody does that. That's the easy part. People just fill their days just doing a whole bunch of stuff. That's why so many people also overwork, because it's just another form of distraction. All these like morning routines, we're gonna wake up and cold plunge and all the Ashton Hall stuff that you see, right? Is I'm gonna cold plunge and I'm gonna go to the gym and all this stuff. You're just doing a whole bunch of shit. If you take the time to align the energy, and trust me, I know what it's like at times, and I still feel it from time to time now, as I slow down and I feel like, okay, I have resistance somewhere to something. I'm wanting to do something and I feel I'm either distracting or I'm not really fully on, something's in the way. And as I take the time to slow down, I can feel everything within me screaming as to like, you're being lazy, you're not being productive, what are you doing? And it's just like, it's so used to the physical side of things. And I remind myself, hey, the physical is allowed to happen because of the energetic. If you align the energetics, you're able to collapse time frames. Things happen so much faster because there's nothing in your way anymore. You could just flow through. And that's the purpose of doing the hard thing first, of aligning the energy. And as you get to look at what is it that you're committing to and why you're committing to it, you also get to now see what's going to happen naturally is all the things that prevent you from doing that thing. It's going to happen. Life is going to show you what caused the misalignment, because you would have been doing that if the things that you really want to happen, you would have been doing that. There's something not allowing you to do it. So when you set that intention of wanting to do that, life is going to show you why it hasn't been happening, because you could allow anything to take place. So you want to know that. And as you start to see that, then it makes it so much easier to kind of get it out the way, make the alignment here. And by the time you look up, it's just a clear, it's all green lights, and you're able to go. And now for the comfort zone. The fucking comfort zone that everybody talks about, that's not fucking comfortable at all. It's as comfortable as a bed of nails. But the main thing to realize is why it's called the comfort zone is just because it's just familiar. It's a familiar way of approaching that topic. That's why it's called the comfort zone. I feel like they could use some different words, but you know. So again, once you hear comfort zone, associate that with familiar. And all that's taking place, the reason why we stay there a little longer than like we kind of overstay our welcome there is because it's a rehearsed story. Whenever the topic comes up of what you want to do, there's a story that's been rehearsed, which is why that thing hasn't happened yet, which is why you have the desire for that thing to happen. And as you get to see, whatever that story is, it's so easy to fill in the blank and tell the rest of the story. It's like, you know when those songs pop up on TikTok or Instagram, and it's a song that you wouldn't listen to. It's a song that like really isn't fully your vibe, but because everybody fucking uses it on their videos and shit, you hear the same lines over and over and over. And usually everybody always uses the same snippet. So you hear that same line over and over and over, and eventually it starts to just get ingrained into your mind. So by the time you hear the first part of it, you fill in the blank, and now that song that you still haven't heard the whole thing to this day, that part still kind of loops, and that part is catchy just because you're able to fill in the blank. That's all that's happening in the comfort zone. In the comfort zone, you're filling in the blank. You're filling in the blank as how the rest of that experience related to that topic is going to play out. And that's the anticipation, the expectation that we have going into engaging with this thing that we want to now implement. Because we don't do anything bad. We really don't do anything bad. We don't do anything wrong. It's you. You know yourself better than anybody else in the world. And you get to see what's taking place is not so much that you've done something bad or wrong or you're not doing this thing. It's the fact that we only do things because it makes sense. Because what you get to remember is you haven't done anything wrong. You haven't done anything bad. That's something that we often tell ourselves of like, damn, I fucked up. I wanted to do this thing and I haven't done it. Or I want to like lose weight, but I'm still eating bad. Or I haven't gone to the gym. Or whatever the thing is, it's like we want to do that. And however way we kind of sabotaged it or didn't follow through, that's the wrongness, that's the badness. And like we start to beat up on ourselves for that. But what you get to remember is we only do things because it makes sense. Not because it's right or wrong, not because it's good or bad, just because it makes sense. And there's a point in time where it made sense to take the previous approach, to take the approach of the story that was rehearsed, that you would fill in the blank. So now, once you get to see why did this make sense? Why did it make sense to misalign my energies in this way? Why did it make sense to approach this topic in this way? As you start to see that, you get to see it actually doesn't make sense anymore. And it makes it so much easier to now shift towards what does make sense for you here and now. And something that often makes sense in the way that we hold ourselves back is familiar pain. And that's such a great way I like to highlight this for people because we don't typically want pain for anybody. We especially don't want pain for ourselves. But as you get to see, familiar pain makes sense to welcome just because it's how we're now viewing the unknown because of the pain that we experienced. Familiar pain, it's like, okay, this sucks. I don't want this to happen. It sucks. But at least I know I can tolerate this pain. At least I know I can survive this pain. I know it won't take me out. I know I can make it to the other side. And I just know, I know the approach of how to go about this. I know, okay, I might be frustrated, yell about it, probably cry, I'll be exhausted, I'll take a little nap or do whatever. In some cases, people drink or smoke, find their own balance, and then they know, okay, I'm okay after this whole scenario, after I fill in the blank. And it's often said in different ways, like, sometimes people can find success being scary, like if the thing that you're wanting happen, that for some reason in your subconscious that will be scary. Yeah, that's true. But first instead of going down that rabbit hole of like, why is success scary? And you get to just use the reflection that's being projected in front of you to highlight that as well. Because it's like when people play that game, you see like when there's the box and as the viewer, you can see what's in the box. and the person puts their hand in and they have the blindfold, and you see that they're touching a teddy bear. But in their mind, they just touched a big ass spider. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? And like, you see them like losing their shit. But it's just because they're familiarized with pain. So anything outside of that pain, they're just interpreting it as more pain. So if you catch yourself kind of being stuck in a loop, tied to that topic, you're just familiarized with pain. So there's an anticipation for pain and more pain in the unknown. And if we see the unknown as being more pain, kind of like the box, then it's like, okay, that's gonna be 10 times or 100 times worse than the pain I'm experiencing now. I'd rather stick with the pain I have now because I know how to navigate it and I know how to regulate myself when I do go into that pain and I do experience it. Again, it sucks and sometimes like it feels overwhelming, but it's not so much that I can't handle it. This I can handle. Whatever's in that box or whatever's in that dark room, I don't fucking know what's in there. I just rather not. And something that you get to explore, right now seeing it in this way, is what's being highlighted through this path of getting the thing that you're wanting or instilling the habit that you want to now implement is there's an area tied to this topic, right? This topic is highlighting an area within you where there's a lack of love for yourself. There's a lack of self-love in this particular area that's kind of screaming at you tied to this topic. Because somewhere in this topic, there's the tendency to abandon yourself. And easy way I like to highlight this for myself, it's like if you're navigating that dark room, you have the flashlight and you're holding that part of you, that fragmented part of you that's feeling scared or feeling the shame or feeling guilt, whatever the negative emotion is, you're holding the hand of that part of you. You have the flashlight and it's like you hear some noise and you're like, what the fuck was that? And instead of being there with you and feeling those emotions and staying by your side, it's like you let your hand go and you take off. And now that part of you feels even more scared or even feels more ashamed because it didn't feel worthy enough to stay with you. You abandoned the part of you. And it's a tough feeling to feel when you see it that way, but that's what's taking place. And that's why those emotions feel so intense. And now you get to see and seeing these parts of you, this part of you, these parts of you in this way, you now start to approach them with compassion. You're no longer enticed with the idea of beating up on them anymore, right? Because there's the feeling of like shame and guilt and judgment and resentment, whatever the negative emotions are, sadness. And usually they're emotions that we deem wrong or bad. And anytime we feel it, it's like, fuck, I don't want to feel this way. And it's just kind of berating ourselves or belittling ourselves, kicking ourselves while we're down. But in seeing it as this part of you that you abandon whenever you do that, now you start to want to connect with this part of you. And another way that'll amplify this connection is seeing also what's really happening is this part of you that's feeling the negative emotion and highlighting it for you loves you so much. This part of you loves you so unconditionally. It's willing to take on the fact that you might never like it, that you may never love it, and you may potentially hate it, but it doesn't care about that. It has the ability to see your potential and hold conviction knowing that you have the ability to fulfill your potential, that it cares more about letting you know where you're holding yourself back and where you're not loving yourself. And that's the true definition of unconditional love. It's like, hey, you may not like me now, but I care more about you and how you feel and making you whole, that I still want to let you know, hey, you're not loving yourself right here. And now seeing it in this way starts to change your relationship with these parts of you. And you start to welcome them in. You start to now allow these fragmented parts of you that felt abandoned, you now come back with the flashlight, you find them and you take them by the hand and you reassure them, hey, I'm here with you and I'm staying with you. No matter what noises we hear, no matter what appears, I'm here with you. Because the best part is you have the flashlight, but they have the directions. They know how to get to where you want to be. That's why these emotions come up. That's why these frustrations come up when you're trying to move in the direction of this new topic that you've now introduced into your life. Like for the longest time, I struggled with going to sleep earlier because one, I've always been the one to like stay up late. I've always been the night owl. I will sleep by like 2 a.m.-ish, sometimes 3. And it will vary. Like before, it would be because of fighting, right? Because my fights would be at 10, 11 o'clock at night. All my training sessions were at night. And since I was a champion, I would be the last fight. So sometimes I wouldn't fight till like 12. And my body got used to being on at that time. But for now, for what I do with coaching, my active times are now in the beginning of the day. Like my sessions start at 9 a.m. So the way I approach my days now have to change and they have to shift. And there's been resistance in doing that. And some of the resistance have been some bullshit. Like in the process of doing this, I highly recommend radical honesty because it's you. And in approaching yourself with radical honesty, you get to release any judgment. That part of you now gets to feel safe with you, that you're not gonna, say that you fucked up in any way. You just get to own the fact that you did, so you know how to approach with what's in front of you. So my bullshit was there's times I would watch either some really good shows or I would play some games, and I love stories, like story mode games. And I'll be like, man, the story's getting really fucking good. Like, I just want to like play just a little more. But then now I'm not going to sleep until later, which means I'm not going to get up until later. And it starts to throw everything off. But then there were also like beneficial ways that affected the goal that I want, which is sleeping earlier, which would be like going to the gym. And I know for me, like there's times I would work a little later and I won't get done till like 7, 8-ish. And I'll go to the gym at 9. And I'll still choose to go for consistency for me. But then I know if I work out at that time, I'm going to stay up late for 2 reasons. One, my body is just going to kick in for what I did before to just being on. Like energetically, my mind, everything is just going to be on because of what I used to do. And especially that I'm doing something active like working out, my body's just going to be awake for hours. Even if I take tea, my body's still going to be going. And then the other part was I'll just start to get ideas. I get a lot of my insights and downloads like at the nighttime. It just happens. And that's something else where it's like if I don't allow space for me to be with me, to decompress, then it's almost like Mike is trying to give me all these insights and talk to me as I'm laying down in bed. So it's like I could lay down in time. But then it's like Mike is like, hey, real quick, before you go to sleep. And I'm just like, bro, I love you, but I'm trying to sleep right now. We're trying to sleep. But again, none of this I got to see as me doing bad or wrong. One way I got to flip everything and flip that script is seeing it as feedback. As you see everything happening around you, as life just giving you feedback, now you get to choose what to do with that feedback because that's what life is doing. It's just letting you know, hey, this is what you created with the choices that you made, decisions, how you approach these moments. Do you like it? If you do, keep doing what you're doing. If not, cool, do something different. And now you could end up with something else. And if you like this, it's just giving you feedback over and over and over. So as I saw this as feedback, it was like, okay, cool. This is just showing me that I need more harmony in my day. Balance, right? Work-life harmony. Instead of Mike trying to update me on all the ideas and everything at night, let me create more space before I lay down to decompress from the day, allow some silence so I could hear myself, so I could hear Mike and whatever ideas want to flow through. And same thing with the gym. Like if I know I'm going to be up, if I work out around 9, that means there's some imbalance. That means I wasn't efficient throughout the day to allow the time for me to work out earlier. So it got me to now be more curious as to where's the imbalance? What ways am I not making space for myself? Am I not making space for Mike? And then also with the TV and games, usually it's seen as a bad thing. It's like you're watching TV and you're playing games. You shouldn't be doing that and blah, 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 blah. Fuck that. It's fun. I like it. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I like it. I like anime. I like watching some shows, some movies, playing some games. It's my thing. But the fact that it's going on so late means that I'm not creating enough space for Mike to play. That means there's an imbalance where I'm more focused on being productive and doing work and stuff, and I'm not incorporating play into my day. And he's trying to fit in as much play before we go to sleep. That's why it's like 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, because he knows when we wake up, it's right back to work. Which all of this is valuable information, because if I align the energies in these areas, going to bed earlier is going to be so much easier. So it got me to change with how I engage with work throughout the day. One, I love what I do in coaching, so now I get to just have fun with what I do, and I get to bring more play to what I do, and I get to take breaks and fit in times of just having fun in those breaks, whether it's going for a walk or just breaking up the times in my way to make sure I'm having fun throughout the day as well. So in the habit that you want to get started and you're looking to implement, or the habits you're looking to release and let go, you get to be clear, what's the feedback that's being brought to you? And you get to now see life is helping you by showing you what's in the way. It's kind of like a river flowing, right? If the river's flowing and there's some rocks in the way, only so much water is going to get through. So you want to remove as many rocks as possible. And the rocks is just the things that made sense, the things that you chose, because we choose everything. So it's like, okay, if I chose this, that means I could choose something else. And that's where the radical honesty comes into play, of just owning up to the fact that I did choose this. And this sucky feeling is just letting me know that I prefer to choose something different. One, why did I choose this? And then two, what do I choose better? And then as you remove all these rocks, the river now flows with ease. So now after the feedback, you just get to be clear. What are you committing to? Like, I got to see, for me, it wasn't just sleeping early, right? Because there's all the stuff that you see people see. Again, going back to the morning routines, people go to sleep at fucking 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's all fucking ridiculous shit of what success is. I don't do that fucking nonsense. Fuck that shit. But what it is, I get to see the reason why I personally want to sleep earlier is because for what I do, I need to make sure my cup is overflowing. So I need to create space and have space when I wake up for me. So I could be with me, connect with me, give me what I need, give me the attention I want and I need, so that when I show up to these calls and I'm guiding people, I don't need anything from them. I have more than enough energy to flow through. I have more than enough energy to drop into the flow state and guide people. And in the process of channeling and being present, it takes a lot of energy. So it's very important for me to make sure that I show up for myself first thing in the morning, so I get to maximize my day. And also, as I come into contact people throughout the day, I want to be able to share my essence, share my energy, share my presence with friends, strangers. That this is my mark on the world. Every moment people get to experience me, and I would like for them to experience all of me, not a depleted version of me. So that's why it seems like, I just want to go to bed early. But as I got to be clear as to the things that got in the way, why it made sense to do it, that actually helped me get clear as to why I did want to do it. So for you, as you start to remove the rocks, own the fact that you put the rocks there and how you would like the river to flow. That's going to allow you to get clear as to why you're setting this commitment, what you're committing to. So every time you're presented with that moment of choice, because we all remember those moments. Like again, even going back to like weight loss as an example, it's like you have, like, I know I have food at home, but I'm driving past like a Wendy's. I feel like I want to get chicken nuggets. And you're like, I know not to do it, but I'm maybe, and it's just that split moment. That split moment is where you get to exercise your power of choice. What are you going to do? And if you don't have a clear reason as to why you're committing to eating healthy, and you don't have clarity as to what you're committing to, you're gonna get the chicken nuggets every single time. Same thing as saving money, right? You could have the idea that you want to save money, and then you'll get the urge to like buy something, and it's usually like something small here, but those build up. But you're always presented with that moment at checkout, right? You'll feel it leading up to it, but right at checkout, whether it's Amazon or somewhere in person, right as you're about to pay, you're presented with that same power of choice. Are you going to spend the money or are you going to save it? But if you don't have clarity as to what you're saving for, what are you making this commitment for, why you're committing to this, you're just going to keep spending it. So by all means, get the inspiration, like get inspired by other people as far as like their approach for implementing new habits and, you know, doing the right things, so to speak. But always see it as a reflection back to you, so you get to exercise your power of choice. That's the frustration, is feeling like you're wanting to do something and you're feeling like a sense of powerlessness, that this thing has the ability to take away your power of choice and get you to just continue to do the same old, same old. So throughout this whole episode, this whole video, you get to see that now it makes sense as to why that whole dynamic is taking place to begin with, what is actually happening, and you get to now bring it back to you. Because what you're really committing to is not so much the action of saving money or losing the weight. You're recommitting to you. You're committing to you. If you're wanting to lose weight, you're committing to you feeling better, you feeling healthy, and you just being in love with yourself. That exercise of self-love. You just deeply appreciating yourself. And if you're committing to saving money, right, to touch on both examples, then you're now committing to your sense of safety, your sense of stability, your sense of love, whatever money represents to you, that's what you're committing to. So as you get to see the layers behind all these things, you get to find how you're actually committing to you, and you're making yourself so important that you're choosing to show up for yourself related to this topic instead of abandoning yourself as you did before. Because now it no longer makes sense to do that, because you just love yourself way too much and you deserve to be that loved. Like even this video, I recorded this. This is the third time I recorded this, by the way. And I done it from the couch, and it was comfy, it was nice. But it was like later in the day, so I didn't have the energy. And I don't want to do like a bland ass video to where it's like, I'm here, I'm talking, I'm saying what's up. There's not really a change in my voice. I'm kind of just like talking. It's just like, nah, that's just boring. I got a nice voice and all. but you know, after a few minutes, you're just going to be like, fuck, man. You're saying some nice stuff, but shit, look alive. So I made sure to set the intention of like, okay, I'm going to allow myself to have rest. And although I wanted to do this 2 days ago, and then I wanted to do it yesterday, say, hey, what matters most is how I show up to this. What matters most to me is the energy that I bring, because I'm exchanging energy with you. Damn, I just hit the mic. I hit the mic. Oh, shit. But I'm exchanging energy with you. And again, as I was saying before about my cup running over, my cup runneth over, my cup being full, I want to allow people to experience me, even online, for you to genuinely feel my essence, my presence in this life. And that's the main reason I see that we're here, is to offer our perspective of life and to be felt. Because in allowing, this is like, I love being playful and fun. And there's so many dynamic aspects to me. I have a powerful side to me, and I have like this playful side to me, but they complement each other. There's no or, right? It's not like I can be powerful or I can be playful. No, the power complements the play. The power adds, it's the fire that's fueling the passion for the play to come out. And allowing that to come out and be seen, it gives the permission for it to come out of you and everybody else that I come into contact with. I gotta put some oil on this fucking chair. There's like a certain movement, see that? Wait, now it doesn't want to do it, that's nice. Now I'm over here just doing this. I look like the little Santa doll, just like And by the way, last thing, I need a fucking haircut, bro. What? But I have like my friend's wedding this week, and I'm flying out to Mexico tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. 2 days, Wednesday. So I've been waiting to get the haircut tomorrow, but my hair grows super thick, super fast, and I'm just like, bro. So I like pat it down and maintain it so it doesn't look too crazy, but can't wait for it. So wanted to get this sent because I'm thinking about doing another video while I'm out there this week, because I'm going to be out there for a week, so I'm definitely going to do another one. And yeah, just wanted to share this with you. So I'm wishing you an amazing day. And if it's nighttime, I'm wishing you an amazing night. And I'm wishing you nothing but great things. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Definitely comment below so we can start engaging. I'm looking to like build a crew of homies. All right, I see you all as homies. I want this to be like a nice, dope, vibey crew of homies. And we get to just drop in and talk about life and just exchange our energies in the most beautiful way. So I am wishing you an amazing day or night, and I will catch you later.